it's Astrid Leon from Sexy Diet Food and Living, and I'm very excited to be here with Rochelle today. Rochelle is my naturopath, or was my naturopath for a long time, and she's working at Maleny Natural Health Center. And I'm here to just have a little chat with Rochelle about all the things that I've learned from her and that I would like to share with you, and to just have her personally here and go through a few questions and issues that a lot of people have nowadays. Anyway, here she is. That's Rochelle. Nice to see you, Rochelle.
You too, Astrid.
How are you?
Yeah, well, thank you.
It's great to have you.
Thank you.
It's been a long time seeing each other.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, let's get a few things done.
Yeah.
How long have you been a naturopath?
I've been a naturopath for about 11 years, and before I qualified I was working with people in their homes, just working one-on-one with their diet and going into their kitchens, having a look, because I've got a chefing background. So I came in from that aspect, and having a bit of food as medicine knowledge to help them, and then I just sort of got out from there, and then I started working in different clinics, and then came here about 7 years ago into Maleny and set up this beautiful clinic that we have here. And been working here ever since, and plan on staying here for quite some time.
So it is a lovely place. Maleny is beautiful.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Maleny is on the Sunshine Coast in Australia, in Queensland. It's just absolutely beautiful. So tell me, why did you become a naturopath after being a chef and all that?
Yeah, I got chronic fatigue when I was about 19, and so I went on my journey, and I got inspired by a naturopath who listened to me. You know, she gave me some herbal medicines and things, but primarily she listened to me as an individual, and that was a big part of the therapy for me as well. And so from there I went into yoga training, and it was just sort of a natural progression, I think, from all my learnings, with food and medicines and things. And so I got inspired to become a naturopath, because there's so many changes that you can make in people's lives when they want it.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. And what do you love the most about your work?
I love working with women's health, and because women go around day to day thinking that, oh, this is the way I am, this is normal, and there is so many things about what happens to a woman with her health that isn't normal, but we accept because they're often long-term issues.
That's right.
So when they find out they can have a better libido and better energy, that's great. And when they get it, that's brilliant.
That's
so,
right.
yeah. And also I'm very passionate about teaching young women and older women their menstrual cycle, and helping them understand and respect their body as they grow into their knowledge and understanding about their body. They become more aware of pathology in their body, if that is an issue. Just more body aware. And for young women, it's about body respect.
That's right, that's right. I remember there was actually the reason why I came to Rochelle. Do you remember? I came because I always felt I was going at about 80%. And I thought, having 2 young children and just being a mum, that's quite normal. But I wasn't happy, and that was actually the reason why I came to see you, saying what you were saying.
Yeah, improving your lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Just changing a few things
And
to make it work
it
better.
made a big difference.
Look at it. Beautiful.
Still following all your advice. It's and people always go, how do you know all these things? And but it's from experience, just living it.
Practice,
And exactly. All right. I still need to look at my notes, everybody. So what is your main reason now? I mean, you're passionate, and you have why you like to what you love most about your work. But what is the main reason people come and see you? What are their main issues?
Well, women's hormonal conditions, and our demographics here are menopause. But I get women coming from up north, from that. So that's one reason, and yeah, just women's hormonal conditions and also young women's hormonal conditions.
Right.
We're seeing, you know, early conditions such as 8, 9 years old starting to develop.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, people don't realise that people who are 9 years old can have chronic degenerative conditions because of the way our food is in this society, the way the environment is, and the way we accept it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a big thing, and it's great to educate parents as well. Like yourselves have been educated in that department, and now you see what's going on, and you know, it's hard to accept it.
Exactly. You become little warriors.
Yeah, it's great.
And you refuse to take part of it.
Yeah.
And you know there is another way.
Yeah, that's right. And the more people that know that and have a collective voice, the stronger we're going to be, nice and gently.
That's right.
You know, there's no point fighting it. They just get their resistance up. But yeah, gently does it. Yeah.
And that's why I started this site, Facebook site, Sexy Diet, Food and Living, to share it with everybody, with you guys out there. Okay, leads me to the next question. What is the most common issue when it comes to our diet, and where do we go wrong?
The most common issue. People generally like to be serviced. And I reckon that's a common issue. We just like to go, yeah, bring it on, tell me what to do, and I'll do it. And to a degree, that's a great attitude to have, but when you don't want to make the changes yourself and you want someone else to make them for you, that is not going to happen. So we need to know fundamentally how to change, and then we can replicate it wherever we are in life. Whatever happens, whatever circumstances we find ourselves in, we can have like that default point.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So you can easily, let's say, even if you're not in your usual environment, you can just adopt it.
That's it. Yeah. And you know, I know you were going to ask me also about when you go out to restaurants and when you're travelling a lot. If you've got your fundamental knowledge of how to put a meal together, you can order accordingly and you can choose accordingly. And then the rest of it, you just got to let go and not feel guilty about it, because guilty will just create another issue in your body.
That's right.
So you know, it's important to get the fundamentals right and understand what the fundamentals are.
Excellent. So what would be your 5 top tips on how to improve our diet or nutrition?
5 top tips. Eat fresh, eat local, really important. Eat anything, you know, in moderation, but anything from a tree. If you eat meat, anything from animals and fish, anything from the ground. Let go of packaged foods. We don't need Woolies, we don't need IGA. Sorry guys, we don't need it. We need fresh. We need to see our markets back. That's all ideal, but you know, you can eat fresh, you can eat local. You've just got to find out where to go. You've got to talk to people. You've got to talk in your community, and you will find which farmer is, say, 30 k's or 100 k's down the road that delivers to a group of people. They do it everywhere. You can find these things anywhere in the world. So, you know, and another tip would be, I guess, to educate and learn about food and like I said, about your community.
Good. I actually, it's very interesting how you're saying about finding out your local farmer, because I grew up on a farm in the Black Forest, and we used to always have Angus cow. It's a specific kind of cattle, and you know, people knew that we would not add any hormones or any rubbish. There were only grass-fed animals.
Beautiful,
and people would come from in Germany. They come from long distances away. They would drive the whole day just to go and get, like say, half a cow, and then they have their meat in the freezer for the year, and which is not ideal, but you know, it's still better than buying it in supermarkets. But I knew they had good quality of meat, and and it really makes a difference. You know, you taste it as well.
That's right. And a lot of the times these people are slaughtering them in more ethical ways.
That's right.
And doing the right things to the animal.
That's
you
right.
know, with love and care.
That's right, exactly.
Makes a real important part of, you know, like eating that animal then becomes important for us. And
That's
also
right.
adding an element of your own spirituality into your daily eating regime as well is important, you know. So however that may be, whether it's a quiet thanks or, you know, outwardly or however you do it, you know, that adds an element of love, and that adds then, you know, you could look at it from a physical point of view in your body, that adds an element of alkalinity as opposed to acidity, and having, you know, the practices of the general practices of meat slaughtering.
That's right.
It creates a lot of anger and hate and fear, and that creates a lot of acidity in your body. So when you're looking at everything from, you know, the element of spirituality right down to physicality.
Interesting.
Yeah, you know, you look at all of those things and you see, well, how does my body create acid, or how does it create alkaline? And these are important parts.
Nice. That's probably also why there's a huge trend to also organic and, you know, farmed animals nowadays, I think, you know, to get meat from them.
Yeah, well, it's creating a quality of earthiness and love in our food, and that's really important, isn't it? You know, it
it's
all
so
adds up.
Yeah, exactly.
And examining your belief systems around eating, because I believe that belief systems are very different from your spirituality.
Yes.
And, you know, examining your belief systems to why am I eating, like a lot of people eat vegetarian, and that, you know, that's a belief system, and then they have their attached spiritual reasons for that. But I believe, you know, they're two separate things.
Yes.
And there's a lot of convolution in that as well, that can be taken apart and examined.
That's right. It's like your clinic says, it's a holistic approach, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you think is the most common misunderstanding about nutrition and diet?
The word moderation. Yeah, I love it.
Right.
Common misunderstanding. Your interpretation of moderation as opposed to my interpretation of moderation, as opposed to the general understanding of moderation, is all different. So pulling apart once again your belief systems, and just examining them, as we were saying before. Yeah, that's, you know, it's like, oh yeah, well, I've had 6 beers a night, and so, you know, I'll just go moderation. I'll just 3 beers a night. You know, so it's like, well, actually, you know, maybe we need to discuss this a little bit further and see that maybe there's been excessiveness in your life, and so really that, you know. So moderation is an interesting word.
I love it. I love it. I've never heard that before. I like it, and it's really true. It's excellent. So what are the top 5 things to avoid?
Well, attitude. I reckon it all stems down to attitude. You can avoid frying foods, and you can avoid this, that and the other, but being self-righteous about food is probably one thing that's really important to avoid. And judging other people is easy to do. You know, I mean, I get it myself. I go and sit down, and I'm like, I'm going to eat this today. And someone may think, oh, you're a naturopath, you can't eat that naughty naturopath.
You eat naughty things?
Yeah, but look, hey, I'm giving that food a load of love. It's really important. I mean, really a sense of humour, but attitude, it all stems down to attitude, and you can avoid loads of things and think that's great, but actually you might be doing yourself more harm. They did a study on the nuns. Now, I don't exactly have the exact points for this, but I do know that the nuns live for quite a long time, and they really don't exercise, and they probably don't eat all the right foods, you know, but they're things, happiness and devotion, yeah, and they're really important things.
Yes.
So, yeah, attitude is probably something we need to examine and see where we're coming from.
Yeah, yeah.
Because eating something then feeling guilty for it. They've done loads of studies on that one, saying that you might as well have eaten it.
Yeah.
So attitude is really important.
They say that you even put on weight just feeling guilty. Is that correct?
Oh, they reckon you can, feeling guilty, they reckon you can put on weight just by thinking about it, because you're visualising it. You're visualising yourself doing it. It's the same as doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
So when you do have that chocolate brownie, you might as well enjoy it.
That's it.
Like we did the other day. It was fabulous. It was feather-light as well. Anyway. Yes, you just briefly touched on that. When, let's say, like, we travel a lot, and we will be traveling a lot in the near future. You know, I'm pretty know nowadays what I eat and how much I eat and what I avoid and what I choose over other meals. What is your advice to everyone, you know, regarding, let's say you have to travel a lot for work? What would be sort of a good advice for people eating in restaurants a lot?
Good advice is to get educated, self-educate, and validate that against other professionals in the industry, as to what you think is right and how you're coming about eating food in the first place.
Yeah.
So it takes a bit of time, and we really did not get that in home economics at school. No, you know, they're teaching us how to have loads of sugar in it. So get educated. It's really important, and don't go down the line of being educated by someone who has a vested interest in what they're doing.
Yes.
You know, like, get educated from people who are going to help you explore. Exploring is really important. Being educated from government modalities.
That's right.
I think that's a great thing, because we all know, us as naturopaths, have turned this food pyramid on its head.
Yes, that's right.
We don't agree with the food pyramid,
Yeah.
but the government isn't asking us, they're just making it up.
That's right.
So, you know, explore is really important. Get educated. There are some really important fundamentals as to how you put food together. And when you get that, you will feel better, and you will be able to go out there and eat a lot easier, and
that's right.
your attitude will be better about it because you'll be educated about it.
And you feel also much better when you travel a lot. You know, you're on the road or you're in planes and you eat the right kind of foods. You actually feel much better as well being on the road or on a trip.
That's it. Yeah, a lot of us just give in. Oh, we're just travelling. We'll just give in. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll eat this, that, and the other. But you don't have to. You don't have to these days.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, what is your general advice on how to live a healthy lifestyle, and what do you do, and what are your daily habits?
Okay, I'm right into lifestyle, and that's why I live in Maleny. My mum said to me, go to Brisbane, you know, you'll be really busy. No, I want a lifestyle. Lifestyle is important to me, so I try and maintain that every day, and when it gets a bit out of whack, I know, you know, my foundation, and I will pull it back in as quick as I can.
Yes.
So, you know, I don't start work till 10 o'clock in the morning. Breakfast is really important. If I don't get my breakfast, I get to work late. That's just the way it is when I go to work, So, those sorts of things, and having a good breakfast, having a good lunch, and making evening meals lighter. I do try and follow, you know, what I talk about with people. Besides individualising things, I have some fundamentals, and I follow those.
Nice.
Makes me feel really good. Got great energy, great vitality, and
fantastic.
Energy is really important.
And I mean, look at you. You look beautiful. Always have. Fabulous, fabulous. It's really great. And I have to honestly say, we both, you know, have learned so much. And it has, you know, we've lived in Argentina, we've traveled a lot. No matter where we go, we can always adopt it or replicate it. And it's often where people actually come up and say, what do you do, you know? And it's really hard to explain because it's an accumulation of so many things.
Yeah, that's right.
And but it's great, and we can already pass it on to our kids, which is so important. And you know, our kids are healthy, they feel great. We as a family, we feel great and have lots of fun. And excellent. But anyway, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, Rochelle. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Rochelle especially took time out on a Saturday to be here with us, and I'm really excited. And I'm happy to finally introduce you to Rochelle. And anyway, I hope you get something out of this and have a fantastic day. See you guys. Bye.